This tablet I specifically use a lot for just mindlessly sketching and exploring stuff, but also just sketches that maybe aren't meant for anyone else but me to see. And also with it being digital, there's not the kind of pressure that there is with a normal, traditional kind of sketchbook. Like, you can just erase stuff easily and move stuff around easily. So it really takes the pressure off when you're drawing. And I think it's really nice to have this kind of like space where you can just draw things without really that critical look that we can often have. Okay, so you can see in my folder 2025, I have like basically 2 folders. I don't know why this one is in here. Or when I lived in Copenhagen, I took it with me a lot to Glyptoteket to draw the statues there. You can see I have a folder that's named Glyptoteket, where I have basically collected the drawings that I've drawn of the statues there. Yeah, so it's very much like figure drawing, but not really the same because you don't really have that kind of structure where you draw something every 30 seconds and then the next drawing and then the next drawing and then the next drawing, like in a figure drawing class. So you kind of get to sit a little bit more and look at the statues as long as you want. I kind of miss that structure, you know, from figure drawing class. But the thing with statues is that the shadows are very easy to see because they're white. When drawing statues, I don't really know if like proportions are the best thing to practice with statues because they might be a bit off. Not really true. I got it during 2025, so I've maybe had it for half a year or something. I drew the train view when I was going home at one point. And I remember not really liking this drawing when I made it, but actually now I'm looking at it and I think it's pretty nice. Oh, that was the only thing I had on this, I guess. Then I have a folder that's at grandma's, so I drew my grandma. I only have one there as well. Plants. I also only think I really have one in this one as well, like a flower, kind of flower, I guess. And then I have my sketchbook. Like, here I just kind of play with a lot of different things and also draw a lot of characters, which is something I used to do a lot when I was younger, like more cartoony and like manga-esque, but it's not really anything I really show people anymore. I have this folder is called humans, human form and other forms or something, I don't know. I basically just, I guess, kind of play with form and shape. Shape, that's the word. That's better than form. You see, I tried to play with the shape of a bird. And here I just kind of drew a human from memory, but kind of, you can see it's a bit exaggerated some places maybe. Trying to really apply some anatomy from my mind out through my hand. So if you only like copy things, then you can't really, or at least in my experience, it's harder to transfer that knowledge to just drawing in every day. And I don't know if that makes any kind of sense. There's some buts. It's very fun. So I think I really love drawing shapes, and especially like human shapes and forms, the way the body overlaps. And here it's a bit more like, I haven't had much classical training, but I have a little bit. And like, one of the things is that you kind of have to think about the overall figure, you know, and then the shadows, and then how it all ties together nicely. Like, it's about harmony and what shapes are out, what are back, that, and then the shadows around, kind of how you emphasize what's important and what's supposed to stick out to the eye. I'm just talking, really. I don't really know what to say. Maybe really like her knees and likes how I did them here. I think this is from pictures. I also think it's important to like maybe draw more from life than from pictures actually, because real life you see way more of the shape and you understand way more of the shape, but with pictures you really only see a very limited amount of the shape, and sometimes it can be really hard to tell and you're just kind of copying the shadows instead of actually drawing the shape. You know, my teacher, when we had figure drawing in like, when I went to this school, visual HF, she was talking about how you had to kind of shape your drawings like clay. I think that's very nice visual for it. And here I was also just kind of really sketching, like this I would say is real sketching, you know, lines, like trying stuff, like I don't really care what the product is, to like trying to form an idea, but maybe it's not going so good, but I kind of understand it more the more I feel, you know, just learn from what you're doing. And I really like also here, you know, it's the thing with shaping like clay instead of drawing. Like I'm drawing the shadows here and it's making a shape, very loosely shape. This I also think was from picture. There is this great website called Line of Action I really like to do. That's like figure drawing pictures of people, and it's the best you can, I think you can really come to real figure drawing, because that's expensive, so this might be just good as well, you know. I really love figure drawing because it doesn't just teach you about the human body, but shapes in general. Like I've kind of learned perspective from drawing figure drawing without actually really drawing any landscape. I noticed that after I had like those 3 years where I did figure drawing in school, perspective became better at that, you know, without really studying perspective specifically. So that's why I think figure drawing is just like this kind of magic tool you can use. Like it makes you better at everything, like when it comes to drawing, because it just teaches you to see and how to shape instead of like actually then study this human like for 10 hours. But if you just draw really fast, really many drawings really fast, a week, like that does more for you than studying something slowly and like drawing this like perfectly. Don't think about perfection, just look at what you're seeing and try and draw it really fastly. Don't think. This was also from a picture. I really like this one. I kind of started with a picture, but then I kind of drew, like added stuff on my own, like the hair and the way the shadows. Here we have some of my character work. I like this character. I imagine she's very powerful, confident, kind of sorcerer or something. I don't know if I should cover this. I don't know if YouTube likes this, like boobs. But I really like drawing hair on this tablet. I don't know why, it's just really nice to do on this tablet, yeah. I think this is like also her, more of an exploration of her. Like faces, kind of just, it is a bit of a mess, but it doesn't really matter, like, because I think I like it, yeah. Drawing of some curly trill, that's also just something I really just drew, like not thinking about anything. And I still don't really like it, but I think it still has value, because then I know what I don't like, you know. Some more, like a kind of a little sad looking guy, maybe? I don't know. I don't really remember drawing him, actually. And I really like this one. Really like it's a very quick sketch, because I had an idea, but I didn't really like it, so I drew it again. A unicorn person, a unicorn, that I had the idea for it and then I drew it. Like specifically this kind of where the human face is coming out from like the horse neck. I think I want to come back to this again and then try and draw it a different way. I do like this, but I don't know, I think it could be more creepy. Yeah? And then I have characters from reference. I think I got this folder. I think this was like a painting. And then I drew it because I really like the way her torso was shaped. It was like a Victorian painting with the corsets and stuff, and I thought that looks very cute, cool, like the silhouette, and I kind of wanted to try how to draw that shape, you know, what about the shape made it look like that, like exploring that. Can't just see what this is though. Like, this is a hand, right? I'm not sure. I don't know, man. Yeah, I can't really tell what this is either. I don't remember it either. I drew this from a picture I took from Moskov Museum, which it was like some kind of Viking little. It was like this tiny or something. I remember this because I was so frustrated. This was one of the nights that I seriously couldn't sleep, but I had a period of time where I was working a lot and I had to get up really, really early every day, and that just doesn't work for me, and I couldn't sleep. Then there was like clouds in the sky, so I just started drawing them, and I actually really, really like drawing clouds, like sketching them, like just in line work, because it's kind of hard actually. Clouds are weird, like the shadows, physics of the shadows. Like, I don't understand sometimes. Like, yeah, like here you can see I couldn't tell like where the shadows and where the light was coming from. There's so many different kinds of clouds. They can look in so many different ways. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't really matter anything about clouds, but yeah. Okay, carry on. Some more faces. Then I kind of drew myself, maybe from a picture. And I really got into it with the hair here. You can see also like this hair here, and kind of like the lines go down the face here. I find very fun. And some big eyes, big ol' eyes. Small nose, kind of playing with exaggerated eyes, and something I drew from a picture of myself again, with also very big eyes and maybe small nose. I don't know. And then I kind of drew this from a picture to kind of feel out the shapes of the face, and then I drew from memory, trying to exaggerate what I had just drawn, but without reference. Trying to draw things without reference. And I also did that here. And then I tried to draw myself again. There's something wrong about it, like something off. Portraits are so hard because there's always something just a little bit off, and you never really know what, unless you're like really good at it. Maybe something about the eyes, I think. And then again, try and figure out the shape of eyes and how you can draw them in different ways. I think this was like a picture of a cow eye or something. Then I kind of drew from a picture I found on Pinterest of an interesting building. Yeah, I don't really draw building that much actually at all. But I think I should do it more because it's kind of fun. Then another character drawing of like maybe some kind of vampire elf, maybe. He looks very classy. I kind of have a little bit of a dream of making like a comic or graphic novel. Moving on. And yeah, I also actually have a little bit of just brainstorming for like more a portfolio for something comic related. I'm considering to also apply at this school that offers a bachelor program that's called graphic storytelling. Kind of, yeah, brainstorming for an idea for a comic, because there's like a whole lot of stuff to that application process. A comic of like an elven character with a hole in her back, because You know, in Danish Nordic folklore, elven people have holes in their back. They're like ugly in the back because they're hollow. So I just kind of made an actual hole in her back. I don't know, I don't think I actually have much more to show from this year. I think I want to do this like every New Year's, because with like a traditional sketchbook, you kind of just make a sketchbook tour of it when you're done. But with this, I'm never really, there's not like an end to it. But yeah,